It's amazing. And you've smelled an orange tree in blossom. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that as far as like terp heaven goes. You know, so
an orange tree in blossom.
Wait, I have a question. If I'm a if I'm, say I was a younger woman who's about to have a period, would I use both the edibles and the topicals?
That's the beauty of the line.
So you would take a bath or rub it on as well as eating the edible, and then you just pass out and you don't feel any pain. Your period's over, basically.
Hopefully.
Okay,
yeah, that's our intention.
Yeah.
So there's 4 different products and they're all designed to use together. So, women don't take time off for their moon cycle.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, actually used to. We know very places where women kind of go into quarantine during their moon cycle in many third world countries and so on. And the women say, great, I don't have to cook or wash. I'm taking 4 days off. Now, there is the pain that goes with it, but nonetheless, it's quiet time.
But do they, Swami? Do they say great? No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Hopefully. Yeah. But no, I know. Many cultures, it's a time to isolate. In many cultures for many, many years. Yeah. Right. But here, we just have to keep working. We keep going. So this is kind of made for women on the go, women who are working, professionals, mothers, every type of woman, wherever you are in the cycle. And every type of man, truly, too. I mean, cannabis doesn't discriminate. So men actually love the line if they cannot be deterred by the word menstrual. I always joke because I'm like, exactly.
Right.
You take the strul out and you'll have a men's relief. And
but then there was a thing I saw in some of these tinctures and they call them menstruum. Now wait a second, why are they calling this menstrual? It's not a menstrual cycle, but what does menstrual mean?
It's an herbal, liquid, medicinal, to my knowledge. Someone's probably correcting me out there.
It's a preparation which turns out to be a liquid, right?
Yeah, it is, like a tincture, to my knowledge. Yeah. So for example, let's say you work 80 hours a week and you come home from work and usually you might make a cocktail immediately. Let's say you're a lawyer. Let's say you're a female lawyer who's just blooming it so hard in your career right now and you're working 80 hours a week, 70 hours a week, and you get home and you're tired and you usually go for that cocktail. Run yourself a bath. Take some sparkling water and add this overproof organic alcohol tincture that has herbs that relax your nervous system in it, and elderberries and raw honey.
Oh, instead of drinking it, you bathe in it.
No, you drink it too. You make yourself a nice adult medical cannabis bevy that's multi-herb while you run your bath. And have some scoops of the chocolate. So if you're at work, you might want to do the CBD. If you're at home, you might want to do the THC. And when you get out, give yourself a rub and you'll sleep like a baby through the night. And just all about finding your own little amounts of everything.
Nice.
Right, do it, Well, see, the best thing about this is you get to practice, right? So you get to find out your dose if you do it, every day.
The other nice thing about it is that these things are actually fun. I mean, imagine a medicine growing up that tasted like the best chocolate you've ever had. You had the raw cacao. Or imagine taking a delicious salt bath that's all hot and nice and you're just pampering yourself. And these are the ways we can have people care for themselves. It's enjoyable and pleasurable and delicious and fun and actually good for you.
It sounds a lot better than castor oil.
Exactly, with positive side effects. Positives. Cannabis brings positive side effects.
It certainly does.
Hungry, happy, tired.
Yeah, exactly,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so wonderful. So do you actually still work? You don't do the packaging part, you're more into the actual what goes inside.
So I do all the infusions. I'm on production. And actually this is this type of thing is what fuels my heart, to be able to provide the education piece for people and correct. We're actually working in the negatives because we're coming into this propaganda and the stigmatization where we actually have to reverse some information, not just start neutral, right?
Oh yeah. The prejudice that's been since the late 30s, early 40s about this was the worst thing. And it's actually, cannabis is the best single plant herb for humankind, bar none. There's more uses, more beneficial for cannabis. And so working out the edibles and the tinctures and the topicals is super important, right?
It is, and topicals are powerful and effective.
You know what I'm using topical for right now?
What?
I got a little poison oak on my leg. I haven't had poison oak in years. And it's funny at this time of year, but I somehow got it. And it's this one that Jude and Lucinda made, right? And it's, it's not. It's the Bed Sisters. It works. It actually
amazing.
stops the itching
Yeah.
completely.
Totally.
And it's kind of got a wax base to it or something. I mean, it works. So, have you tried that for poison oak?
I haven't tried it for
I've never
poison oak,
tried.
but I'm not at all surprised. Cannabis topically is really powerful, and it blows my mind that people can go through their life with like a debilitating condition such as migraines or even like a bum hip. That dull wearing pain and living your whole life like that, you know, when a topical could prevent it.
I know.
Or people go through all kinds of addictions and dependencies that throw your whole life off, could ruin your marriage, whatever it is.
What I think is truly the worst part about the whole thing of the prohibition is exactly what you're talking about. That the medical profession was denied the opportunity to give their patients the best medicine for how many different conditions that they, in all their science, have yet to figure out something that's better than cannabis for how many different conditions. And so the doctors are in a situation is what nowadays they begin to know what the best medicine is, but they still in many states can't prescribe it, right?
Totally, yeah.
And so I think that's a real moral bind for a lot of doctors in a way.
I agree.
But anyway, now we're happy to say that all this stuff is now available, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And where do you find these things?
Dispensaries, different
In various
dispensaries.
dispensaries.
Whoopi and Maya's in so many dispensaries in Los Angeles, around
I bet.
170 right now.
Great.
Yeah, Om's more like a little baby. She's in about 50 or 60,
That's
mostly centered in
great.
the Bay, but we're getting ready to get Om to more people too. And
Okay.
So,
And what would you say, that there's a different person that would buy one that would buy the other or something? Or?
well, I do think that they both appeal to different crowds for sure. For sure. Yeah, Om is more of like your everyday medicine, and Whoopi and Maya is definitely like for women and self-care, even though men love it too. Men can use it too, but it is a menstrual line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it goes deeper than just the cannabis. Like the magnesium in the cacao and the salt are actually what stop your muscles from cramping.
Interesting.
Yeah, and cannabis is an antispasmodic too.
Right, sure.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
it's more direct. Like these are
Absolutely.
very deliberate formulations, especially Alexis's, that we medicated. I didn't finish the story, so we medicated the Moonline together. As soon as Rick called me, I called Alexis, and we medicated the Moonline. And we started formulating, and we changed a few things. Some herbs
Wonderful.
didn't want to come on the journey.
Really?
It's true.
Well, I love this.
I try not to take it
mix.
personally. I won't mention any names. But I'll just say some did not want to come.
Wow.
And they didn't come.
But see,
They didn't come.
what
We
I really
listened.
like about this is the way that you ask the herb. Now,
Alexis
first
did,
of all,
yeah.
that goes way back to the way I understand it at any rate, that the native people all over this country would deal with the herbs. They would talk to the herb, find out the one, and then ask its permission to harvest
Yes.
it, and always leave plenty so it can regrow and so on. And so now that's the way that I harvest our plants in the fall. I go up to each plant, and I say, sometime in the afternoon, I say, "Do you want to come in tomorrow?"
Yeah.
And I muscle test.
Yeah. Oh,
And
that's
I
good.
say,
That's great.
Right. And then I say, "Are you ready to come in tomorrow?" Right? And it'll say yes or no. Right? And then I ask a third question, which would be, "Should I leave you?" So if two say, "Yes, I'm ready. Yes, I want to come in," and the other one says, "Should I leave you?" No, then all three add up to say, the plant is telling me it's ready to come in.
Wow.
And so I just let it up because I can't decide.
Yeah.
Am I out there with a microscope counting trichomes or something like that? You know, what do you do? And so what I'm just trying to say, I get blank and I say, "Okay, plant, you tell me what is your peak."
Yeah. And then
when
you
wanna
listen.
come.
And
I
then you listen.
Yeah.
It's all about listening.
So then it usually gives me
Yeah.
3 or 4 each day that I take in and so on. And so, but the
great.
way to talk to all herbs
Yep.
that way.
Yep. Absolutely.
And not just this one, but to say, do you want to work with these others?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
Right? Is it what is it? Is it effective and compatible? Is the way, if you're doing a muscle test, is this herb and this herb together, are they effective? Yes. Are they compatible? No. So maybe you don't want to put them together. Each one could be effective.
Right.
Yep.
But together they might in fact cancel
Exactly.
each other out.
Yeah.
Right? So that's where you're saying, what is the plant telling me? Yes, it wants to work with this. And we would do the same, I guess, with companion planting.
Right.
Out in the garden. You say, well, do you want carrots growing with you? No. Do you want,
Yeah. I hate carrots.
maybe it's chamomile and clover? Yes, or whatever. I'm sorry, carrots. It's okay. I don't know, whatever.
We just used you as an
Just
example,
an
carrots.
example,
We're
I
sorry.
wasn't sure, right? But so that anyway, so it is to realize that the plants themselves have this consciousness.
It's true. Yes.
And if you can tune into it, they will have a conversation with you.
It's true. If you listen, they are talking, which is actually funny because you're holding that. That's Talking Trees Farms.
Yes, that's true.
Oh, well, tell us about
this.
You want to
olive
talk
I
about
will. I would like to talk
olive
about
oil
this. Okay.
line. It's amazing.
This is something that's new that is going to be released soon, and I could pick them up if you don't mind my
Please
reach.
do.
Okay. Thank you. So this is a cannabinoid specific.
This is a whole new concept you're working on.
I think that this is something that can be really helpful for patients to have individual needs. And I mean, the more we learn about cannabinoids, the more we learn that they're actually kind of specialized. They do a lot of the similar overlap things too, but there are also some serious points of like specialization. Yeah. So through different temperatures, you can isolate different cannabinoids depending on the strain. I mean, if the cannabinoid's there in the beginning, so it's like you're never going to get CBD or CBDA out of a THC strain that has no CBD in it to begin with. But you can turn THCA into THC, and then you can make different ratios. And we're finding out that different ratios. See, imagine if we had been able to do research this whole time about the ratios.
It's gonna come.
Do you know what we'd have? You know what we'd be sitting on if we understood what ratios were best for what? Because from what I've read, and correct me if you've read differently or know differently, I heard that the 1-to-1 ratio is absolutely superior for killing cancer.
Interesting.
I've heard that.
No, people are always asking for the 1-to-1 quite a bit.
Oh my God,
true.
it makes me feel so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, this is a funny joke. I keep laughing about it because I did a yoga class the other day, and my balance points were like perfect. Like, I'm serious. I was balancing better than ever, and I'd eaten a 1-to-1 edible, and I was like, it's the 1-to-1.
Okay. People ask that a lot. No, but people ask that a lot. That very question: does cannabis mix with yoga?
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh my God, how could it not?
Yeah, first of all, you're relaxed, it's not the pain, but also on cannabis, because of both its creative and its spiritual side, you can create new positions, new asanas, right? That
amazing.
relieve a situation that is unique to that moment or you.
Right.
Well, and when you're doing yoga, your mind and your body are like, your mind is on top of your feet, which is on your mat, and you're in your body. Hopefully, that's the point, right? And so you're really doing yoga with your mind as well. So it can help you break through those barriers when you get into that deep pose and you're like, okay, and the yoga teacher reminds you, now let's explore this feeling. Is it really pain? And you're like, oh. And if I'm nice and high, I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is cool. This is new and
you can
funky
actually
and fresh.
You can actually picture your muscles, stretching out, and you can feel them like that. You can feel your organ that's being squeezed. You can see it's
good stuff.
You can really sense in on it.
Oh, just did a medicated yoga thing last night. It's amazing. Candlelit yoga under the full moon. Everybody gets nice and high, nice and medicated, and we served the CBD miso and cacao and other little things to enjoy. And then we all do this 1.5-hour practice together.
Wow.
It was amazing. At first it was kind of hard. I was like, that's fucked up. This is a medicated yoga class. Why is she going to work us so hard? Everyone was like, oh. And then we made it through, and it was like pure bliss. And
but that's where the topicals come in. You're sore the next day, right?
Exactly. I was like, oh. It's like, how can you do that?
Tell us now about this.
Okay.
Well, I want to say first, before I was reading on a patent application that THC vaporizes at 166 degrees Celsius, which is what, 340 or something, and that CBD then vaporizes at 188, so much higher.
Yeah, I would definitely, me personally, I have different numbers in my mind for that, but yes,
there's
CBD,
a big gap.
CBD at a higher temperature for longer, too.
So what I interpreted from that is to say that of all the whatever 40 or 50 cannabinoids in cannabis, each one will vaporize at a different temperature.
Exactly. And see, and imagine if we had this research, it would be so interesting to have this data.
And then turning, like you're saying, from THC into THCVA to
Yeah.
THC and THCVA into all these different things. Right?
Yeah,
So, like, for
they
example,
do different things.
Yeah, so what would be the difference between THC and THCA? Not in how you make it, but in how it reacts to you.
Well, the big difference of THCA and THC is that here's what I'll do.
So no, wait,
Here's what I'll do. I'll put this out here. Yeah, so they're color coded. So actually, let's see. Okay, so it starts as THCA, which is raw. THC is activated. So what happens is you have this little acid chain, the acid on the chain at the very, very end, and when you decarboxylate it or take it to a certain temperature, that acid breaks off, and that's when it becomes activated, and then it's psychoactive.
So THCA is not psychoactive at all?
THCA is not psychoactive.
At all, right, okay.
But, also we have to be careful and responsible because if you were to take this oil and heat it to a certain degree, it would turn into this oil and it would be activated.
Right.
So
why would you use the THCA to begin with rather than get activated to?
It's a powerful anti-inflammatory and it's not psychoactive.
Oh, I see. So it's like CBD, but it's for different things. That's really good to know.
Yeah.
That's great.
So also the THCA is all uninterrupted terpenes. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I feel like that's going to be a whole different level.
So how do you extract the oil without heating it then?
You can do infusions at different temperatures.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You can.
So if you're
you
a
don't
cancer
have to
patient
heat it.
who is told to take THC for your cancer, you can take THCA, have the same effects, but not get high?
If, God forbid, I was dealing with that, what I would do is take THCA, THC, CBD, and CBDA. I would take every single type and every single form
all of it,
that I could do, topicals and all of it.
Right.
Yeah, just make a dose on it, actually.
Yeah, and juice it, and then bring in all the other superfood powers,
Because as you were
turmeric
saying before, there's endocannabinoids throughout your body.
Yeah.
And they're in your kidney, they're in your liver, they're all over the place. And they're now saying they have a consciousness.
I love that. I'm
sort
sure.
of that these endocannabinoids talk to one another.
Yeah, they communicate, the entourage effect and all that, and the way they work together and balance each other out and cancel each other out.
So when they have the balance then of THC, CBD in there,
Yeah.
and so this is already a jump ahead in science, you're saying, because now you can mix these various. Is that what you're telling us?
It's personal. Yeah, you can mix any of those the way you want.
Wow.
And you can actually use
cocktail.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
and you can use all of those topically if you want to. Hot or cold. You can bake with that if you want, but if you bake with this one, you're gonna get high.
Yeah.
And
Read the labeling. I promise.
What's the blue one?
I'm a little nervous about that, but I hope everyone will read the labeling.
Well, when the blue one is the CBD one?
Yes, the blue CBD.
That's great.
Yeah. So this would be great for dogs too. Yeah.
So this is amazing, Maya.
Thanks.
This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, thanks to you and to that guy who connected you all through everything and everything.
And Whoopi having the idea and
just
then
putting
just
it
going
together.
to get it.
Yeah,
right?
Whoopi's been a real blessing in my life.
You've come a long way
magical.
from that cookie dough.
Thanks.
Yeah, really, okay.
It's
Thanks
really
a lot.
impressive. Amazing.
Thanks. I'm trying my best to just make my way and stay connected and involved, which is what makes it all meaningful for me, connecting with people about it. Otherwise it's not just a job, this is something that, is special.
Our big responsibility is educational to get the people realize that.
And when you see it work,
Oh, I
you
know.
hear the reports back, it's so heartening.
I'm like that's my kryptonite. I got to get those patient testimonials. When I get that, it's doing something for me. In a serious way, that's my obsession.
When you get feedback from people,
that is so
Well, I haven't even
it's
tried
everything. And if you're making something that's actually working, you'll hear it. People share, and I love it. It's important.
Well, come back, please.
Thank you for having me.
I think there's a lot more of this for us to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yes.
Anyway, thanks for joining us today, Maya, and all your edibles
and Maya
topicals and so
works.
on. And for best of luck to Whoopi and Maya and to OmEdibles and so on. So thank you for joining, and come back.
Thank you.
Om Namah Shivaya.